The truth about people online is that most people look the same and are completely forgettable online. Do you ever see people that you just feel that they're just different? Have you ever seen anybody with a personal brand or anyone with a business that when you see them generally feels different? Most of the time, or most of them are falling into this trap and they're just becoming a copy of a copy of a fucking copy. Why? Because they don't have personality. They don't have life. They might have gone through shit, but they stay in the same place. Why? Because they never got to internalize who the fuck they are. And this is the problem when you start making money. If you haven't got there yet and you start making money, money will just simplify what you already are. I'm not saying making money is a bad thing, but having success without you knowing yourself, I think it's a blessing to hit rock bottom or be on the fucking bottom and have to get the fuck out of that situation. Because there's nothing in this world that is gonna teach you the most valuable lesson when you come from the fucking bottom. There's nothing in this world that is going to teach you more than that. That's why I'm so grateful that I had to go through shit so I can become myself, start posting content, and build my own brand because who I am, not because I saw somebody doing this and now I'm gonna copy them. One of the biggest problems when it comes to branding, when it comes to making content, everyone is just starting to look the same because they saw, okay, this works, so I'm gonna copy it. It's okay to take inspiration from others. That's a good thing. But completely copying somebody and then you copy another one that also is doing something that works, it doesn't mean it's not going to work. The perception people are going to have about you, it's not going to be as hard as it could be. That's why you see some people that have less followers, but they still have more impact than all these other people that are doing better or that are successful. Why? Because these people actually internalize who they are, they internalize who they want to become. That's why most people are becoming forgettable. You watch them on internet, you watch them, what are they selling? Their services. And they end up becoming just another person, just another founder, just somebody else selling services with no substance, with no life, with no nothing. They become empty vessels. You try not to look premium. I completely understand that. You try to stay consistent, but you still don't exist. You're still nobody. You could have the wins, you could have the cars, you could have everything you want. But people pass your content, people see your content, people scrolling, and you just become another one. And you can't say that I'm lying. If you're watching this, if you're a coach, if you have hundreds of thousands of followers, you know exactly what I'm saying. There's something missing. There's something missing about you. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here. You can DM me, we can work it out. No problem. People are not just buying your service just because they're buying your service. They're buying the person behind it. Because how the fuck do you expect to sell a service? How the fuck do you expect to sell something if that person internally it hasn't internalized who the fuck was the person that built that? How do you expect me sell something if I haven't internalized all the work that I've put in, all the shit that I went through, all the fucking hardship I went through? If I don't communicate that through your presence, through your energy, how the fuck do you expect people to get your services? How the fuck do you expect to get people to buy your products? If you haven't internalized the person that has built everything that you're saying, you know that there's something missing. You can lie to everybody, you can lie to anybody but me. That's why you could sell to poor people. You could sell to poor people, trying to sell them the ideas. You could stay stuck, trying to sell to the same broke people. Or you can try to improve who the fuck you are, internalize who the fuck you are, so you can increase your prices and stop competing over pricing. Oh, he's cheaper, he's more expensive. Let's compete for pricing. When people see you and your presence doesn't carry weight, it doesn't carry vision, it doesn't carry clean frequency. You're just another competent founder. You are just another competent business owner, course seller. You could have the best product on the market, but if you don't internalize the person that built that, the person that has actually put in the work, you're going to stay in the same fucking place. I'm gonna put it in perspective. You probably have 200,000 followers, probably you have 100,000 followers, but there's some people out there, even though that they started from the bottom, they always had certainty of the person that they are. We can look at anybody, Michael Jackson, Kanye West, Elon Musk. There was always something about them. There's always something about them. And this is certainty. They have that certainty of the fucking monster that they are. So if you're not able to internalize that and recognize that, you're always going to stay in the same fucking place. That's what you're missing. That's what you're missing. And how can you internalize it? You can hit me up and I'll help you. And I want you to realize something about them. They always become inevitable. These type of people, they always end up becoming somebody because they fucking know, they deep down know who the fuck they are. Everyone's a copy of a fucking copy. Everyone copies the stuff that works. Everyone goes to a profile, they see what works, they copy the hook, they copy the structure, they copy the style, they copy everything with no personality. I want you to picture this. This is what most content creators are nowadays. Imagine you grab the best colognes in the world. You just start applying them into you. Gucci, Versace, Vuitton, Baccarat, you name it. And you put them all thinking that you're gonna smell good. And yeah, you start putting one, two, you might smell good, but then you're going for the fifth cologne. It's kind of weird. There's something wrong with that smell. And then you end up having 10 colognes on you. You end like, what the fuck are you? Like, how are you trying to smell? Everyone's chasing the next fucking hit of dopamine. So everything just becomes predictable, right? That's what most founders are. That's what most people that are building something online are. They never develop this part that builds inside of you, this fire inside of you, which makes you stand out from others. That's what most people are out there. They're just a copy of a fucking copy. Everyone's wearing the same clothes. Everyone's chasing the same fucking hit of dopamine. Girls are wearing the same clothes. Men are wearing the same clothes. The same fucking colognes. They saying the same fucking shit. And now it's also happening in the online business, in the online business world. Everyone's just, if you're copying every founder, if you're copying everybody, what the fuck are you trying to build there? Who the fuck are you trying to be? I'm not insulting your business. I'm not trying to put you down. But do you ask yourself, do you really build that an identity? Or do you just let the world mold you? Because that's what more people are in this world. They're just a feather in the wind with no personality, with no original ideas. What happened with this shit? That's why I'm so into classic shit. Because back then, you had to actually use your brain, think for yourself, and think, how do you want to build certain thing? How do you want people to perceive you? You actually had to put in the brain. Nowadays, you just seeing somebody is successful. You're seeing a lot of successful people doing successful things. And then people are just grabbing what works the best. And then they make that their identity. That's what more online businesses are. That's what more people are nowadays. Not online businesses, but in the whole world. Everyone's wearing the same shit. Everyone's trying to look the same. Everyone's talking the same. Everyone's the same. And you need to understand the world is more than just materials. It's more than just materials, bro. That's why we have a fucking brain. That's why they gave you the ability. That's why God gave you the ability to have imagination, to feel, to see things through your own vision. But if you're just letting the world mold you, you're just going to become like everybody else. But let's go to the other side. You embrace how fucking weird you are. You embrace everything that you went through, all the bullshit that you went through. You're embracing it. And you actually put in the work, you're actually putting in the conscious to build something beautiful from there. Something beautiful, unique. You're just limiting yourself to be a copy of a fucking copy. And the difference isn't about posting more. It isn't about working harder. It's about engineering how you actually want people to perceive you. You need to understand, not everything, you don't have to talk all the fucking time. You don't have to try to convince people that you're gonna make their life better. Because you could do that if you're selling to poor people. You can sell them feelings. You can sell them how they want them to feel. You sell them the idea of that. That's for poor people. But if you're actually having value, if you actually are bringing something to the table, something that is actually going to have an impact in the world, I'm 100% sure if you sell from that perspective, from that place, you're going to make more money. And as a business owner, I realized, because I fucked up too. I remember I wanted to make my client feel, oh, you're special. I was trying to convince them, trying to manipulate them into buying my service. Like, why the fuck should I try to manipulate you? Why the fuck do I need to manipulate you? Manipulation comes from need. So I have to manipulate you in order to get paid? Like, what the fuck am I? I'm a fucking loser? And I understood, if you actually have the expertise, if you actually have the experience that you can actually help people improve their lives, the confidence you have when you're selling completely changes. Because why? Because you're not selling from a place from necessity. You're selling from a place from certainty. If I really trust in my service, if I really trust on the work that I can do for people, why the fuck should I try to manipulate people? Why the fuck should I try to manipulate how they feel so they can buy from me, so I can sell them the solution? When you're selling from that position, you're selling from a position of necessity. But when you're selling from a place of certainty, of knowing who the fuck you are, of the service that you can provide, of how well you can do the work, you don't have to chase, you don't have to convince them. And I'm gonna tell you, this is when you're selling from this position, you're selling from a position of love, because you put so much love into your craft. You put so much love into actually understand what's going to help people. When you put love into your craft, you don't have to manipulate people, because you put so much love, you put so much hard work into your craft that you understand that it's going to work, it's going to benefit them. But if you're selling from a position where you're trying to convince people to buy your service, your product, that tells me that you don't really trust in your services. You don't really trust on your products. So this is a lesson for most people out there. Every time someone's trying to sell you something, understand from which place is this person trying to sell me from? Is this person selling me from love, from the love that they put in the work into their craft, or are they selling me from a position of necessity because they want the money, because they want the sale? Look at the most successful people out there. The most successful people always manage to help humanity in some type of way. Elon Musk, even though I'm not really into electric cars, these cars are fucking, they're reliable, they're cheap, you don't have to waste on gas. They're awesome. Jeff Bezos, he's getting you your package in your fucking door. You see the pattern there. They're always doing something for humanity. If you're actually not giving people some type of value, genuine value, something that is going to actually help them improve in their life, you're just becoming another seller, another people manipulating people, poor people buying your services. That's what you are. So, anyways, if you want to have all this fucking knowledge, if you want my help to actually have the perception that you need, not that you want, text me perception and we'll talk.